Hello and welcome everybody to Between Us Mamas, where we are helping your middle school girls shine, grow, and thrive. So we are coming to you today from a lot of different capacities to talk about how to help your girls navigate the chaos of middle school. And what we want to do is share some tips, some insights, some tricks, some techniques to help you be able to help your girls thrive, to help them deal with all of the chaos and the emotions and the hormones and everything that these girls deal with in middle school. So we know that middle school can be a trying time for both these young girls and for us mamas as they're trying to decide who they are, they're trying on new personalities, they're dealing with social media, they're dealing with so many pressures from so many outside sources that I feel like we didn't have to deal with as much when we were kids. And so we are just going to take you through all of this and hopefully provide you some awesome insights about how to help your girls shine. So what I'm going to do is introduce each of these beautiful ladies beside me and have them tell you a little bit about themselves and what tips they have for you to help your girls. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce Miss Kath and have her tell you about herself.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, I'm Kath Keene. I'm a certified teen life coach, and I work specifically with teen girls and 20-something young women. I draw on a lot of my experience being a school psychologist and school counselor for many years, and I love empowering teen girls to, create amazing lives for themselves, give them tools to navigate these tumultuous years and, provide them that confidence that they need to get through it. So I am a stepmom of two 20-somethings and have worked with teenagers for a long time and just love working with teen girls.
Awesome. So Kath, in the retreat that we're putting together, which I failed to mention at the beginning, but we are actually putting a retreat together for tweens. In that retreat, and just for our mamas at home who are trying to help their daughters, their stepdaughters, their nieces, it's not just for mamas, it's for any woman who is in the position of guiding a middle school aged girl. What are some of the ways that as a mom or an aunt or as a stepmom or somebody in that position, what is a way that they can help boost the young girls' confidence that are under their guidance?
Excellent. Well, this is such a great question because a lot of studies have shown that girls start losing their confidence as early as 5th grade. So that's around 9 or 10, which sounds so early, and it's just kind of the world they're faced with, and they start thinking about themselves in this world and becoming more critical of themselves. So anything we all can do as women in their lives to boost their confidence, I find to be so impactful. My favorite way to boost confidence in girls is to encourage them to take risks, because building confidence is like building a muscle, and it's an action-based thing. So having them take risks and try new things helps them, try something, and if they succeed, awesome. If they fail, they learn that they can fail and it's okay. So as a parent, your big role, or auntie or stepmom, is being that safety net. Because everybody to launch and take that risk need to feel like they have a place to fall when things don't go well. So that's a huge, huge role of yours as a parent. And then trying to sort through how do they want to take a risk? What is fun for them? What sounds like it's going to create some meaning in their life, and encouraging them to get out of their comfort zone and try something new. So those are a couple big things. A couple more specific tips. If you have a girl who's like, I want to try doing this, how do you help get her there? Break it down into baby steps so it feels manageable and she can feel some small successes before that huge leap. Have her connect with a friend. Girls do really great when they take risks together. Another great thing to do is to, just weigh the benefits and kind of visualize what am I going to get out of this? What does it look like when I succeed? And also, what's the worst case scenario? So you kind of help her visualize all those things, and she knows that she's going to be okay and she's ready to take that risk. And talking through failure. So inevitably, sometimes the risk is not going to work out as planned, and when failure happens, how does she work through that? Is she really tough on herself, or can you help kind of show her how to be kind to herself and what's the learning experience? So all those little pieces kind of put together, you know, if she's trying out for a team, it might look, she says, I really want to try out for the tennis team. Break it down, and maybe it means going to an informational meeting or taking a tennis lesson first, talking to the coach, those little things that she can feel success, and then help her see, you know, why she wants to do it and what it's going to look like if it doesn't go well. And then your other role as a parent is just how do you model, you know, failure and risk taking yourself, and thinking about that. Do you like to take risks, and how do you respond when things don't go well or when things do? So thinking through all those things with your daughter can really help boost her confidence and get her out there trying new things and feeling good about herself.
I think that's brilliant. I think that's advice that we all could use. Get everything down to baby steps.
Yeah.
So how, knowing that taking risks and it's our job to guide these girls, how is it that we can help them then be kind to themselves and generate more of the positive thoughts as they're going through these, I call them downward spirals, where they just have one negative thing happen and then all of a sudden their whole world is a disaster.
Yes.
So how can we help them through that?
Totally, because we all know what it feels like as women, yes. Right? We get very stuck in our heads and do that spiral thing, and you know, I find that a lot of girls or a lot of moms come to me when they have a potential daughter they want me to work with, and they've noticed that she has these, you know, she's talking negatively to herself about things, and we go, as women, it's like, we want to help stop that and create positivity as much as we can. So it's directly linked to confidence, the positive thoughts and self-compassion. You know, the more kind girls are to themselves, the more likely they are to take risks and to boost their confidence. So a couple, you know, fun activities. I'm a very visual person, so I think something that I love to do with girls and that parents can really easily do at home is help your daughter find a quote that feels really powerful for her. And this could be a weekly activity. Find a quote that's meaningful and positive. Put it with a picture, either a picture, you know, that she chooses or something on the internet. Print it out and put it on her mirror somewhere that she's going to see every day, and it's going to be her reminder when things aren't going great that everything's going to be okay. So that can be a fun little weekly activity. A longer activity that you can do together that's a great way to learn more about your daughter and understand who she is to have her create what I call a positivity board. So just finding pictures of people who, you know, make her feel awesome, of places that make her feel fulfilled and wonderful, you know, words that feel powerful to her and kind of celebrate her uniqueness, and putting that somewhere, you know, either in the bathroom or the closet, and just again that daily kind of reminder that she can shift away from the negativity by visual, you know, those visual prompts. So those are two fun activities. And again, you know, I always say you know, as parents, we always need to check in with ourselves and what we're modeling to our girls. They watch us a lot, and you know, just understanding yourself and how do you respond when you have a bad day? How do you talk to yourself, and being aware of that, and you know, helping shift into positivity yourself so your daughter sees that. Yeah.
That's incredible. I think one of the things you said really resonated with me when you were talking about the quotes and changing them up week by week, because I have a quote that I have on my computer monitor, and every once in a while now I'll read it because it's been up there for so long that it's just become part of my everyday. So changing it up so that it's in your attention again is an awesome tip. Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you, Miss Kat.
Yeah.
So next what I'm going to do is introduce Miss Marla Tenney, who is sitting next to me, and she is going to tell you a little bit about what she brings to the table.
Thanks. I am a certified nutritionist, and I have a practice in Northwest Denver, just helping people navigate their relationship with food. I come from a place of a blended family. We have 7 children together, if you can believe that. What's really cute is my oldest stepson, I said the wrong word.
That's okay.
My oldest stepson gave me the nickname Momla, and even my kids call me Momla now too, right? So our little Brady Bunch +1, I'm the Momla to those kiddos, and they mean the world to me, and I've seen them go through a lot of changes, and it's exciting to be part of that.
It is. So you are a certified nutritionist.
Right.
So I think one of the things that we find in working with young girls is body is important, and as early as 9 years old, they start feeling, well, maybe I don't look the same way as the magazines do, and I don't look the way that all of my friends' Pinterest pages and Snapchats and Instagram and every other social media that we're being bombarded with. And it gets in their heads.
Right. Yep.
So I read a statistic, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but these girls start thinking about dieting in elementary school now,
Yep.
which is shocking.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So what advice would you give our mamas listening to help their girls navigate through all of the fad diets, the ones they see in magazines, the celebrity diets? What advice would you give them so that they can help their girls with that whole diet question?
Right, that's great. Well, first off, it's complicated. That mom-daughter relationship about body image and food and all of that is very, very complicated. But a couple really good things is that it's not real. I mean, you need to be able to show them and that these images and the highlight reel is not real life. That is, sometimes it's photoshopped, as you would understand. And so first off, it's not real. So that's my first one, right? It's not really real. Everybody's life is different, and especially with celebrities, right? What's their job? To get skinny for that next movie? Like, do they do anything else? Are they going to school? Are they busy? Are they on the track team? Are they? No, they are. That's their job, right? So that's a big part too. Secondly, what's really important in these fad diets, there is no one plan that is right for everyone. Everyone is so unique. You have to be in tune with your own body and what's right for you. And that's hard in these teenage years, and it's hard as moms. So check in, mom, right? It's okay for your daughters to look a little bit different as they go through their stages. I had one of my daughters who kind of did that thing where you kind of grow out before you grow up, and we worried about, was it a health concern, right? So I wanted to get her thyroid checked. We had some history there, but boy, I was tiptoeing through that bad boy, and she was fine, and it just was time, right? It was just time. So that's one of the things. And then just listen to your own body. And I think Kath had really good advice as moms. Model.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure you're not falling into those traps too, and try to be a good role model for just some positivity. Everybody's different, and everybody's body processes things differently.
Absolutely. Agreed wholeheartedly. So what is the most important concept then that you would want young girls to understand and take away from the idea that you need to nourish your mind, your body, your spirit, all of that together? What's their takeaway?
Right. The takeaway from the retreat is going to be for them to really start to think and process about food. What is that to them? What does it mean? What have they learned about it so far? In my practice, I see so many adult women who come with a very confused relationship with food, and it starts really young. So I want to kind of catch that early. And I want to make sure that they see food in its whole capacity. So yes, it's fuel. Yes, it brings us comfort sometimes, there's nothing wrong with that on occasion, but it should be real. It should nourish you, and there should be gratitude for it. So in teaching young girls to see that this food came from the earth, that this food is being provided, this food is giving us nourishing and comfort, and it's about sharing and caring with others too. So there's a lot of aspects to it. So just getting them thinking early on, so that maybe they don't, end up as adult women coming to me with, as many problems as sometimes I see. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense, and I love the way that you put it all together. So yeah, I love that. All right, last and very definitely not least, we have Miss Ann Moriarty, who is going to introduce herself before we get a little bit more information from you about what you're bringing to the table.
Hello everyone, I'm an EFT, which is Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping coach. And a lot of people have no idea what that means. They ask me if it's tap dancing. No, it's not. So tapping is a blend of the Chinese meridian energy system medicine and Western talk therapy. And so I have learned that in a very dark time in my life, that really saved my sanity. So I am mom to 3, Mimi to 5, and I am not afraid of big emotions or of snakes.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. All right, so, and you've explained what tapping is very broadly. So I'm hoping that you can, because when you told me about tapping, I was like, what? I was kind of one of the tap dance people, not gonna lie. So what is tapping, and how can mamas help their daughters use tapping to avoid the freak out? Let's put it that way, because we all understand the freak outs. We all have children, we've all been there. So how can tapping help with that, and how can our mamas help their girls with that?
The way that tapping can help your daughter is actually in past situations, present situations, or future situations. And what I mean by that is that if your daughter is thinking about a situation from the past that was embarrassing, that she feels shame about, or that she just feels upset about, tapping can release that. Because the way that it works is we gently tap on different meridian points, mostly on the face and then a little bit on the torso, and that actually rebalances our energy, our qi, as the Chinese ancient medicine calls it. And when we do that, that allows us to return to a place of calmer, where we can think straight. So we can, with the tapping, we can go back to that emotion or that situation and tap on the upset that came from that embarrassment or that distressing situation. So we retain the memory, but we don't retain the upset. And that actually is one of the things that people feel concerned about. Well, I don't want to lose my memories. No, we don't want to lose our memories. What we do want to lose is that emotional yanking that keeps pulling us back to it. And then also in the present. So your daughter might be in the middle of a fight with her friend, with you, and things are she's feeling really angry, and that's stirring up the entire household. So with tapping, she can get her emotions under control. We do need our emotions. This is not about making them go away, but she can bring her emotions under control so she can have a conversation and come up with some solutions, whatever the situation calls for. And also, even in the future, if you notice that your daughter is kind of hiding away in her bedroom and you're thinking what's going on, and you notice that she's studying for a test that she's really nervous about, or she has a big performance in a couple of days and there's that anxiety that's starting to come up, tapping is also fabulous for that, because what it does is it allows the emotion to settle so the energy can go toward the preparation instead of toward the anxiety. So those are some ways that the tapping works and can work in a family, for the tween girl first and then for the rest of the family.
So expand upon that a little bit, only because I know we all giggled when she said, or at you, directed directly to our mamas, but these are the years when those conflicts start to arise. These are the years when our little girls, who have been our snuggly sidekick, tell us everything, start pulling away, start getting what I call sassy, because I figure that's a little bit softer word. And those conflicts really do start arising. We start butting heads, and we start that build of emotion. So expand a little bit about how tapping can then help the family as well as these young girls.
What it really comes down to is that the tween girl can develop more confidence about, and Kath talked a lot about confidence. This is confidence in particular about her ability to handle the emotions that are going to erupt. And it is frequently an eruption. And so with the tapping, she knows that she has a way that she can help herself. And when she feels confident and feels more settled, then the whole family can feel calmer. And it's likely that your home will feel more peaceful. It's likely that your home will feel, that you will feel more connected to your daughter, which isn't that what we all want at that? That's for any of our children. We really want that connection to stay strong through those hard times. And so with the tapping, what can happen is that the entire family can learn it, and we can gently and kindly give reminders to one another about how to use it or when to use it, and bring the entire family into that process. And Tanya, you asked about what, the butting heads with the mamas and the daughters in particular at this age. Well, our job, part of our job, is to take a deep breath ourselves and to say, oh, maybe I could step away for a moment and do a little bit of tapping. Again, the modeling that we've talked about, and also getting ourselves grounded so that we can then go back and say, this is really hard for you. When is a good time for us to talk about this? Instead of coming in with, how dare you, or any of those other things that will rear their heads.
Yeah, that we all pretend that we don't do.
Yes.
Awesome. I think that is fantastic. So I'm hoping that you guys out there got as much as I did from listening to this, because we just introduced this today to ourselves, and so I'm sitting here just soaking in all of the information.
And
so
now we would love to hear from you, Tanya, because you're bringing something really special to this retreat, and something that we believe is going to be so fun and engaging for the girls, in addition to what we're doing. So what about you?
So I am a photographer. I own a studio in downtown Denver, and I focus on tween girls in my Be Yourself Tweens program, where I photograph girls primarily in middle school to, again, bring that confidence to these girls. We know that we are in such an image-driven world. They are bombarded every single day with all of these images from social media, from media, from TV, from YouTube. Oh my gosh, these kids addicted to YouTube. And so they get this image in their mind of this perfect person that they're supposed to be according to society, which A, is impossible, and B, again, is not necessarily real, because as a photographer, I know what Photoshop can do. And taking that a step further, the girls with Instagram, for example, they'll take 500 photos of themselves to get one that they're comfortable posting. And so that should tell us as mamas something about what... All right, ladies. So speaking of pictures and failure, this is what happens when the professional photographer uses duct tape to hold the camera to the tripod because she couldn't find her stand. So as we were saying, these girls will take 500 photos. So they get one that they feel comfortable posting on social media. How is that affecting them? It's a big deal. And so in developing the Be Yourself Tweens program, what I wanted to do was find a way through photography to be a confidence catalyst, literally to catalyze that confidence in them and to show them that I can take one photo and you are beautiful just the way you are. Like, your hair can be out of place, your glasses can be crooked, you can have one sock up, one sock down. You're just a beautiful human, we all are. But to be able to instill that in middle school girls who are going through, and hormones are a big deal, but when they're going through all of that, I call it turmoil, where you can just see it. Now, I am mom of one, and I happen to have a son. And so people always ask me, well, you do this whole program for girls. Well, I always say that I have like my 100 daughters, because every girl that I bring into the studio for photos becomes a little piece of me, because this program is not just photos. We build it on what their interests are, what they bring props, they bring the things that are important to them. I make them dance, I make them sing, and just really bring out the you that is them, rather than, okay, stand, turn to the left, turn to the right. Let me get the absolute perfect picture. I don't care. I don't care if my lighting's perfect. I don't care if their hair is perfect. I want to show who they are to the world so that they can see that who they are is amazing. And so during the retreat, we wanted to bring that aspect in for these girls so that they go home with that picture that just shows them shining in the moment. So that's what that is.
Love that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's a little introduction to all of us, and the camera moved again.
Oh,
You're cut off.
Hello! Okay, and take 3.
And now, the moment you're all waiting for.
Yes. So that was a little bit about each of us, and I'm going to just wrap it up by talking a little bit about the retreat that we're putting together. because if you found this helpful, I guarantee you that the retreat is going to give even more. And the retreat is for the girls.
Yeah.
So we want to bring them into a safe space, a fun space. It will be in the Denver metro area, so anywhere coming into that neighborhood, it's a single day. And so we're not taking them into the mountains or to, somewhere crazy, but just here they are going to be fed. They are going to have activities that make them feel incredible. They are going to learn some techniques that they can then apply. But then what we also want from this is to instill you mamas with the information to guide them in taking all of what they learn forward, because we've all attended workshops where you go and you're so inspired and it's amazing and you get home and life happens.
Totally.
So we want to introduce the techniques and the thoughts and everything to these beautiful girls, but then give you tools as well that you can support them in using all that we've given them.
Yeah.
So the information for the retreat will be down below in comments, as well as links to all of our individual businesses. So if you want to learn more about each of us and what we do, that information will be there as well. And parting thoughts, ladies?
We're just here to help you help your girls shine, grow, and thrive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you
This is
so
awesome.
much
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
Yeah.
And
Hope to see your girls at our retreat.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.